children, good morning and welcome back to the new learning. Today you are going to learn about a new lesson, class number 6, titled as Uttanga's Guru Dakshina, which is written by Mrinalini Sarabhai.
Guru Dakshina itself tells that something we are repaying to our Guru, the teacher who have taught us in this our period, that what we can learn from him, that is all being taught by our Guru. That is what here we will be learning about. Uttanka is the name of a boy here who gives a dakshina, who gives a fees, or he repays what he has been learned from his Guru. That is what Uttanka's Guru Dakshina it is. The lesson itself tells that here we will be studying about a boy who repays the dakshina to his guru. So always, as usual, before starting the lesson, there is a pre-reading is also there. So first we will learn about this pre-reading. So even though I will tell you to underline the new words, learn or read the lessons before and get the meanings of those new words and note down in your class notebooks. Okay. Here in this lesson there are very few new words what you will be finding here. So note down those new words wherever you come across while learning this lesson. So before that we will see the pre-reading. What is the pre-reading here? Already you have the readers, you can see the picture is also given there in this lesson here. So this Uttanga's Guru Dakshina is one sort of a adventurous story. It is adventurous. It is an adventurous It is an adventurous story done by Uttanka here. So Uttanka will be traveling here in the whole story where he come across so many difficulties, and at the end he will achieve its goal, and that is what the adventure he does in his life. Related to that adventurous story, here the pre-reading is being given here, whereas we say that this pre-reading is much related to the real story here, the real lesson it is. That is what we will be learning here in this pre-reading. That is, one story is about the northern side in the first paragraph, but whereas in the second paragraph it is dead opposite. That is, it is being given in the what we find in the southern part of India. So many of you have traveled all over India. You may be knowing what kind of a culture, tradition we have there. So here, this we have learned in our earlier one of the lesson, that is India through the eyes of a foreigner, where Mark Tully went and he traveled all over India. He has been beautifully narrated there, explained there about the nature, about the custom, religion, tradition, the unity in diversity. So here also we will be learning much related to this adventurous story. The first paragraph: leave home and travel north to some town in Rajasthan. We will see camels in the streets. They will be drawing huge carts laden with goods on their open platforms. The cart will be harnessed to the hump of the camel. Drawn by the camel, the cart will be rolling on its 4 tired wheels. So already I have seen this picture here. You might have seen this kind of a carts where the wheels are just the rubber tires will be put there instead of the wheels there. And even here, whereas we find the bullocks or the horses here, but whereas in Rajasthan we find the camels pulling the carts here. So you can see the loads also is being laden. Load is loaded there in the cart, and the hump, you can see the hump. Even we have seen the 2 hump camels also. Somewhere we find them in Ladakh, I think. So 2 hump camels also are there, but whereas in Rajasthan we find a single hump. Hump is nothing but the neck. This is what the hump we call here. So the hump is being here, the cart is being harnessed to this hump. You can see here, this is what the harnessing, that is the whole load or the whole weight is being pulled by this hump here. So this scene, this picture we find in the Rajasthan, whereas we can see the camel carts there is being laden with a full complete load there, and the cart will be harnessed and it will pull with the hump here, and it has the 4 tire wheels there. This is picture we find in Rajasthan, but whereas when we come to the south, come down southwards to Thrissur in Kerala, you may see a long row of elephants in front of a temple. The comparison elephants will be ridden by men sitting astride on their necks. The bare-chested men will be carrying huge ornamental umbrellas. So whereas dead opposite where we find here we have seen a camel, whereas in the southwards we always find in Tamil Nadu and Kerala and in Andhra we see the camels, and camels are most probably used in the processions, in the temples, in the festivals, and they are well decorated. You might have seen even in the within few days you can see the Chamundeshwari Rathotsava, that is the chariot or the procession festival, where in the Mysore, even there also we see a procession of this camels. Camels are well decorated with this ornamental things or cloths, or well decorated cloths or the flowers, and one person, one mammoth will be sitting on there. So that is what we can see in the southwards. This is particularly, it has been mentioned the place also, that is Thrissur in Kerala. That is what we see, elephants in front of temple. There we can see a line of elephants. They are comparison elephants with the ridden by men sitting astride on the necks. So you can see a man who is sitting on the next. Camel will be well decorated beautifully. It will be arranged comparison. So if you find this is a new word, so comparison. So always I will tell you, if you are unable to understand in English these meanings, so better you go to the English Kannada dictionary, get the Kannada meanings also, and understand what exactly the meaning of this word is. Okay, students? So here it is being well decorated, and we can see a bare-chested man will be carrying huge ornamental umbrellas. Umbrellas, well decorated umbrellas also we see. One man will be sitting on the camel and he will be bare-chested. Just he will be wearing the dhoti, and he will be because that is a festival or the temple procession it is. So we see a mammoth, the man who will be riding this camel, and a bare-chested man will be sitting holding the umbrella. This picture we see in the southern part of India, but whereas the camels or the carts we see in the northern side of India. So exactly same what it has been mentioned here about the two animals. Some same related to this story is an adventure story. Is traveling, it makes so many things to understand. So when we travel, we learn so many things. When we read, we also earn so much of, we gain so much of knowledge. So here traveling itself is the main thing what it is again mentioned here. While traveling only we can do so many adventurous things. That is a very young boy called Utanka will start doing the adventurous that is being given here in this lesson of this story. So I think you already learned this lesson. Many of will be very easily can understand while I am teaching this lesson. So we will start the lesson here. Travel is like that. It is seeing strange people and strange sights, and perhaps doing one or the two adventurous things too. That is what we find so many things which are very strange. We find strange people. So here, the same way we find a strange boy or the strange story that is about a young boy called Utanka. Once upon a time, when the wise men of India dwelt in a forest hermitages and made their homes of mud and straw, there lived in one such hermitage a young Along boy with the hermit, there was one young boy called Utanka. Hermitage. So in that hermitage, along with that hermit is always, we know that it is made of the this straw or the wood or the bamboo. There the hermitage is being made. Along with the hermit, there a young boy was also living called Utanka. So many years passed by and he grew up. Soon he had learnt all that his master could teach him. So earlier there were no schools. all the parents, they used to take their children to this hermitage. They used to make them to stay there for many years. After the completion of their studying all the things what they have to learn there, then they used to come back to their homes. This is what the procedure was there in the earlier age. So after many years, when this Uttanka was grown up, so what all the things the master can teach him, he got all that knowledge, and now he is grown up. Now he once he go and meet his master, and what he is telling is, one day he went to his master and said, dear master, you have taught me all these years, and yet I have never once repaid you. Tell me of some gift I may bring you that will please your heart. So after the completion of whole his lessons or the training or the teaching, he is asking to his master, see, already you have taught me all these years, I have not once repaid you. Tell me some gift I may bring you. I can bring you some gift. Please, you tell me what you want and will please your heart. That will please your heart. I will bring that sort of a gift to you. Please tell me. So, now what the teacher will say? His teacher said, child, there is nothing that I desire. Go to your mother and ask her. So, he is humbly saying that, child, I don't have any desire. I don't need any gift. I don't need to you to repay me. But whereas if your mother or the master's wife, that is what he is being called as mother here, is if she desires to get anything from you, you better go and ask her. So now Uttanka will go to the master's wife, that is mistress there. So Uttanka went to his guru's wife and bowing low before her, asked her if there was anything she desired. So always we find the students bowing is respecting, and he asked his guru's wife, is there anything she desired to get, so that he can bring it and he can give it to her. Now he is asking to Guru's wife, and what why Guru's wife will answer is, yes, she replied, I have long cherished a wish to wear the earrings worn by the queen. Go to her and get them for me. In 4 days, a feast will be held. I want to wear them on that day. Get the earrings for me, and I shall know of your true devotion. She had a desire in her just to wear the earrings. She had that desire, whereas the master says he don't have any desire. So now the the Guru's wife, she had some desire there. That is what she had, a long cherished wish. ಬಹಳ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಆಸೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, just I want to wear the earrings which were worn by the queen. Worn, W-O-R-N, worn. Worn is a verb, it is. So just always underline the sorts of the verbs and get the other forms of the verbs. So W-O-R-N, worn. What are the other two forms of this verb? You know already, V1, V2 and V3. Isn't that? Wear, wore, worn. So always you try to underline such words and get the other forms of the verbs also. That also helps you a lot. So here, what a Guru's wife is saying that she is much desire to wear the queen's earrings, and within few days there is a feast. On that day, I want to wear those earrings. So just you go and get those earrings from the queen. That is what it shows. That is what I shall know of your true devotion. ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವತ್ತೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. This is what the Guru's wife, mistress, she had a desire there, and she is expressing this thing to Uttanka. Now, hearing this, Uttanka hearing this was filled with dismay. Nevertheless, he set out through the forest to the city where he knew the king dwelt. So, after listening this somewhat, how to get those earrings from the queen now? So that is what some anxiousness was there. He felt somewhat anxiety is there with him. So, but in spite of that also, but he has to show the true devotion what he had towards his mistress. So he went through the forest, and he was knowing where the king's palace is there. So he went towards the king's palace, whereas he has to cross the whole forest there. Now he is going alone to the city where the king's palace is there. So he had not gone far when he saw a huge bull coming towards him. As it drew nearer, Utanka saw, seated upon a bull, a man so large that he drew back in fear. But the man called out, Utanka, drink this, and he held out a cup full of some kind of a liquid. Utanka turned his head away, but the man said, Drink, Utanka, it will help you on your way. So, I think a few yards or the few kilometers he might have traveled. There, opposite to him, which was approaching him, he saw a huge bull. Already you know, huge is big in size. It was coming towards him, and there was also a man sitting upon that bull, and it was so large, big that he thought it may hurt him, that it may kick him. So a little bit he moved from that passage or the path there. But the man who was sitting on the bull, he called, Utanka, Utanka, come here and drink this. Just he gave him some cup there. He was showing some liquid filled with some cup there. So just Utanka, you drink this. And Utanka turned his head away, but the man said, Drink, Utanka, it will help you on your way. Whereas Utanka was not in the this, he was not able to drink that because he was unknown to him. The person, he was not at all knowing him what kind of a liquid it was. So Utanka was not at all ready to drink that liquid was the man was giving him. But again and again the man was calling him and he was requesting him to drink it, and he is telling that it will help you on your way. Whereas he is moving to the king's palace, but the way to reach the king's palace and to get to those earrings, this liquid will help you. That is what the man who is sitting on the bull is telling to Utanka now. Now what the Utanka will do then? At last he came to the palace, so it will near him. This Utanka drank that liquid, and after drinking liquid, he is moving towards the king's palace now. At last he came to the palace of the king. He boldly went inside and did not stop to look about him till he saw the king himself seated upon the royal throne. Sir, said Utanka, bowing low, I have come from a hermitage in the forest many miles from here. The mistress desired to wear the earrings of the queen on the feast day, and if I do not take them to her, I will lose favor in my teacher's eyes. So now, after drinking that liquid given by the man who was sitting on the bull, a huge bull, now after traveling through the forest, he reached the palace there. There he went inside and he boldly, and he did not stop there. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ನಿಂದ್ರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟರು, he didn't stop there, and he went towards the king, where the king will be sitting on the throne. He saw there the king was sitting on his throne, and he is speaking to the king now. Sir, I've come from the hermitage. He's telling for what reason he has come there. So he's saying that I have come from the hermitage in the forest many miles from here. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಮೈಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದಾಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And the mistress desired to wear the earrings of the queen. My mistress is desiring to wear the earrings of the queen. ರಾಣಿಯ queen ಇನ earrings ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು, because my mistress desires to wear that on the feast. Feast is nothing but a festival. So I want to take those, I have come here to take those earrings from the queen. I will lose favor in my teacher's eyes. Otherwise, if I fail to do this, I will lose the faith. Or ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತ faith, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ, devotion, ಭಕ್ತಿವನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ. This is all he is expressing to king now. Now what the king will tell, speak. The king smiled kindly upon the boy. You must ask the queen, he said. Go to her chamber and ask her. So, however you want the queen's earrings, so why you are waiting here? Just you go to queen and you ask her, because the earrings belongs to the queen. Now, the Utanka got the answer, and he has to go to the queen's chamber, where the queen will be there. So what he will do is, now Utanka went to the queen's chamber, but he could not find her. He went back to the king and said, Sir, I cannot find her. Whereas we find in the palace, earlier palaces, separate chambers will be there for the queen or the woman. So he went to the queen's chamber. He saw there, he searched, but he couldn't find the queen there. So again he returned back to the king and he is asking, but I didn't find the queen there. So how to get the earrings then? He is asking. He is asking this to the king now. What the king will reply? Utanka went to the queen's chamber. He couldn't find the queen there. Again, he returned back to the king. Now he is asking to the king that his queen is not there in the chamber. Now, what the king will reply now? The king looked at Utanka as he stood there with the dust of a travel upon his clothes and his hands and feet dirty and stained. Is that how you would go to the queen? He said. So now, looking at Utanka, he looked from up to bottom, looking from head to his leg toe. He was totally full in dust, dirty clothes, and he was so many miles he has traveled. So that is what the king is telling is, if you go in this way, you would not find the queen. ನೀನು ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಗಲೀಜು ಬಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಲಸಾಗಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನೀನು ರಾಣಿಯನ್ನ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ to all his travel, his clothes and his hands and his feet were dirty and stained. So now what Utanka felt is, he felt somewhat ashamed, and what he will do is, he washed and cleaned. He again went in search of the queen. This time he found her. The ashamed Utanka, he went there and he cleaned himself. He cleaned all that dust was there on his body and he cleaned himself. Now he again went to the queen's chamber. There he found the queen there sitting, just anticipately waiting for the Utanka. So now queen is in front of him and Utanka went and stood there. And what the queen is telling here, the queen held out her hand and Utanka saw the earrings sparkling in her palm. You are a good child, Utanka, she said. I give you the earrings willingly, but beware, these earrings have long been coveted by the Serpent King. Do not lose them. So already queen was ready. She had those earrings in her hand. She was ready to give it to the Utanka there. When Utanka reached there, she was having those sparkling earrings in her palm there, and she was showing those earrings to the Utanka, and she was saying that you are a very good child, Utanka, because just to fulfill your mistress' desire, you have crossed so many miles through the forest and you have reached there, and so boldly you have come there and you are asking my earrings. But I am very happy that you are a very good child. I know that, so I want to give you these earrings to give to you. That is what she's willingly, she is happily, she is giving those earrings to Utanka. But one warning she is giving here, that the Serpent King, she is telling about the Serpent King, he have long been coveted by the Serpent King. A Serpent King ಅಂದ್ರೆ so serpent is a snake. So there is also snake's king is there, who is also want to get the earrings. He is having this to get my earrings from so many days. He is eagerly waiting to steal or to get these my earrings. But beware, husharagiru, because the Serpent King also wanted to get these earrings. So do not lose these earrings. Ellu kalkovada idannu sir safe agi hogi, you have to hand over these to your mistress, but beware of the Serpent King. This was a warning given by the queen while she was handovering those earrings to this Utanka, because she was knowing that Serpent King was having for many years. He was also from many years he was eagerly waiting for those queen's earrings. That is what the warning given by the queen to Utanka now. Now these earrings are with Utanka now. He will get those earrings from queen, and now he has to go and reach to the hermitage. There he has to hand over these earrings to his guru's wife. That is what he will be giving the Guru Dakshina, or repaying the Dakshina, or repaying this fees in this form. Then he has come from hermitage to the palace here, that is a queen's place. But now he got those earrings. Now safely safely, he has to take them to the hermitage, and he has to gift these earrings to the mistress. Now this story we will continue in the next class. Okay students, so if you have time, you read this lesson once again and get the new meanings, so possibly read the other half of the lesson, so it may help you in the next class. Okay, thank you.